Mm-hmm. I like it. I just now noticed it. So
It's December, beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
I know. I just went to the candles sale and I was looking for fresh balsam. That sold out, so I had to get Tree Farm. It smells like trees.
Smells like Christmas.
Because I don't have any like anything like this fragrance in my stash to make candles. So I was like, it's cheaper to just buy them than to buy the fragrance oil and all that stuff. So I went to the store.
The kitties are racing. If you hear crashing in the background, they're crashing into everything.
That's fun. They got the go-go juice. The zoomies.
They totally got the zoomies. They were doing it Saturday. I was reading for a lady, and I said, "I'm so sorry. I got to go see what they're doing," because it was just racing back and forth. I've never heard them race that hard on the hardwood floors. And it wasn't Lucy. Lucy was sitting over here on the sofa, like, "Nope, like, I'm innocent."
She's like, "I'm not messing with that mess." No, Braxy went next door today and played with her boyfriend. So
she still hasn't met the new pup.
No, she's like this big, Jen, like, and then, no, she hasn't met the baby, but
Becca's neighbor has a new baby Chihuahua.
That thing is tiny. Like,
I said, I can't wait to see pictures of Braxy and a little bitty Chihuahua.
Yeah. Braxy, well, it'll be like, because Tucker's way bigger than her. So it'll be Tucker, Braxy, and then the baby. All sizes.
Have they introduced Tucker to the baby yet?
Yeah. He's really good with her. That's what they were telling me. I was like, good thing, because he's ginormous. He's 133 pounds.
Holy crap.
That little dog is 1.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds, Jen. Like, this candle weighs more than that dog, like, oh my God. So, but she's the most adorable little thing ever. But Tucker is a Newfoundland. That's Braxy's boyfriend, the next door neighbor. So they go over there and play together, and I had to clean her up because she was all full of drool and slobber, and just it was disgusting. And I just took her to the groomer last week because we took her to the beach. So, but yeah.
So she's going to have to go to the groomers more frequently because of slobber.
Yeah. And then, for the holidays, to go with the demon dogs for Fight Club, my brother-in-law's dogs, so it's just like, she's going to be gross.
Well, Becca thinks Braxy weighs close to 100 pounds now too, because last time she was weighed, she was like, what, 90?
98.
98.
And that was months ago. I have to take her in on the 12th because her rabies are due again. So she's well over 100 now. I can tell when I pick her up, so yeah.
I love big dogs. I really wanted to get a dog for Lucy when I got the kittens, but we're too cold in the winter. I'm like, there's no way when it's minus 15 outside, I'm walking a dog.
Yeah. You can just let them out and let them play. Dogs love the snow, man. They just love that crap.
If my yard was set up in a way that I could do like an invisible fence, I would do it. But it's like the driveway right off the back porch, and there's no grass until you get behind the garage.
We're waiting for I was talking to the guy down at the store. He was saying that they started getting snow in Big Bear already. They said it didn't stick though. So I'm like, oh, so we're probably going to have a good winter to take her back up the mountain. And because it's only like 45 minutes an hour drive to get to the mountains, to let her go play in the snow, because she loved it. Like, take her to the beach. She loves it. Take her to the snow. She loves it. It's like little kids, Jen, and she'll be out there all day long just playing, doesn't know when to stop, So it's fun.
Lucy keeps going to the door wanting to go for a walk, and I just pick her up, carry her on the porch, let her stand there for a minute, and feel how cold it is. And then she starts reaching for the door, like, no, let's go back in.
Yeah.
I was like, I told you it was cold out here.
Braxy loves it. So
we got any additional GTs, Grand Tableaus you're looking to do?
Probably this week. I got busy last week. My brain melted from work because, right before the holidays, people are going to start taking vacation. We're trying to just push everything out. So after I finished work, I was like, my head is not where it needs to be in order to focus, So, yeah, probably this week coming up, I'll try to do some.
They've been interesting. I've gone back and re-listened to a couple just to keep it in my head.
I need to go back and watch the original one from Trump that I did. Was it in June? I think it was in June.
I think.
Yeah, I think I said that he's going to try to steal the election, which he did.
Yeah.
So I need to go back and review that one, and I need to look at Elon Musk's again, because that one was recent. But I saw him getting in a world of trouble. So
I think they're all about to get a serious caca now.
Did you see the interview that my psychotic, villainous governor did in San Diego? Did you see that?
I didn't see the whole thing. I saw clips.
I sent you, I couldn't send it to you because you're not on TikTok. But he was here in San Diego, down at the border, with ABC 10, which is local news here in San Diego. And the last reporter asked him what he thought about how the Democrats did so poorly and we lost so bad in the presidential election. And he started laughing. And he's basically said, all will be revealed in time. Homeboy didn't drop a crumb. He dropped a whole freaking slice of bread,
Well, that was one of the questions for tonight. We'll start with that one because it was like, does he know something? What is going on? Because that will be revealed.
Yeah, so go on YouTube, look up ABC 10 San Diego. Gavin Newsom interview. It just happened this week. I think the interview was like Monday or Tuesday of this last week just now. But yeah, and he got so petty, Jen. He's like, I have 6 or 7 pages in my car, swear on my parents' graves, of all the stuff that all the pundits have been saying on television. I'm like, get him, psycho, get him. So yeah, I love him. I'm here for the villain era. I am here for the villain era. So,
well, before we get started, I did a Sacred Sounds of Coffee on Spark Soul Therapy channel Friday morning. If you haven't seen that, please go watch it and subscribe to Gail over at Spark Soul Therapy. If you would like to purchase a gift card for someone for Christmas or Hanukkah or the holiday season, you can visit JenLynTarot.com to purchase gift cards. There's 3 different gift cards. There's one with my logo on it. There's one with a cat and Christmas stuff on it. And there's one for birthdays. Don't wait till Christmas Eve to buy a gift card because it might not get approved in time for the email to go through to somebody. Try to do it a few days before. And if you would like a personal reading with me, there's openings in February, JenLynTarot.com. And also in January, I'll be announcing a seminar for next fall. So that's coming up. And New Year's Eve, we're planning on doing a New Year's Eve live fundraiser. I'll invite a bunch of our tarot friends and reader friends. We're going to do World Kitchen. Yeah, they've lost a couple of more members of World Kitchen in Gaza. So we did them last year, and it was one of our biggest fundraisers we've ever had. So New Year's Eve, we're going to start around 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 Eastern, and go through all the New Year's So we'll need lots of questions for that. Thank you, Mary Jo. So watch for that, and all our readers out there, watch for invitations, so I can see who all's available New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
World
Governor
Central
Hochul,
Kitchen.
she dog walked Anthem Blue Cross. Did you see what they tried to pull? Anthem Blue Cross? The day that the guy got murked, I was like, are you effing kidding me right now?
They were trying to stop something, but I forget what it was.
Stopping anesthesia during surgery.
Anesthesia.
It goes over an allotted time, and the anesthesiologist and the public were livid. And the anesthesiologists are like, why? Anesthesia doesn't depend on the surgery. The surgery is dependent upon the surgeon on how long it goes. And the lady in the governor in New York dog walked Blue Cross Blue Shield.
If they have something happen in surgery, yeah, it's going to take longer.
They're according to them, they were only going to allot you a certain amount of time, and if the surgery's not done during that period, you're going to get stuck with the rest of the bill.
Or you're going to be waking up in the middle of surgery with knives and sharp instruments.
They're not going to stop administering anesthesia. You're just going to end up with a $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000 bill, you know? And it's like, you're saying this right now when homeboy just got murked. Just got unalived. This morning. And then, you know, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, they backed off. Because they were only going to do it in 3 states, New York, Connecticut, and another one. And I was like, I bet you they're just backtracking and they're going to slip it in there when nobody's looking. When everything calms down, they're going to try to slip it in there. I mean, the cojones on some of these people is just disgusting.
With the unaliving of the United Healthcare CEO, I have never seen so much information coming out about denied services and tapes of the people laughing about it and stuff. It's like, oh my God, how can you deny service on insurance that people pay for years, before they need it? But
yeah, no, they were that one guy. They were, I think he was diagnosed with MS, muscular sclerosis or something. They would not give him his medicine. This man is a working class, regular middle class person like the rest of us. He was saying his bills were getting up to $2 million a month, Jen. And when he took him to court to sue the living crap out of him, that's when they discovered the tapes, and they're just laughing that they're bankrupting this poor man for $2 million on life-saving medicine that he needed.
I tell you, if we don't nationalize healthcare and get rid of all these corrupt insurance companies, I know it would put a lot of people out of work. But if all they're doing is sitting there denying service,
or then just let them keep it as a secondary option. Whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's and what's interesting, when all this stuff happened, I started looking into it. Healthcare was not always for profit. That changed under Reagan. So add it to the list of stuff that Reagan screwed up.
They create a vision. It's like, every time I changed companies in the corporate world, United was like always the number one they would offer. We always had choices, and I always tried to stay away from there because I'd heard horror stories about.
And they were set to make billions more under Donald Trump's administration because of Project 2025. There's a whole section in Project 2025 where they were going to get rid of Medicare and give that to United Healthcare. And I'm like, great. So now you guys are going to be gazillionaires. Forget billionaires and trillionaires. You're going to be gazillionaires for the shareholders, because you're just going to deny every single senior citizen with your bullcrap, faulty AI thing. AI, 90% of stuff that went through AI was declined or denied, and it's just like, they don't give a crap.
They don't care that people are dying and not getting timely health care. They don't care.
Nope. So long as the the shareholders and the executives are making money.
Well, let's start with Gavin Newsom. Do you have any other announcements?
No.
Okay, let's start with Gavin Newsom. Does he know something about our elections?
I'm going to put you on mute for a second so I can.
Okay. For those that are new, when you're using Lenormand, you really have to focus on the questions. So Becca often mutes me so she doesn't hear me gibby-gabbing. And her face sometimes looks very intense because she's focusing on the question. And if you haven't seen Becca's grand tableaus she's been doing in the last 3 weeks, you got to go back and watch them. Thank you, Terry, for repeating the questions. Mystery Achiever, thank you for doing our timestamps. She always watches for you guys to repeat the questions for in chat. Ooh, yeah, he knows something. What are you getting?
No, go ahead.
Ooh, he knows something.
I only pulled 3 cards, so.
I'm getting a big yes. Stolen. Right on the bottom. Constriction of votes. Something done on a global level. He knows about that. Like wondering where all the support came from, like for Trump. There's unfinished work with this, crowning the reading, so there's still something they're having to do. But, oh, hell yes, he knows. Hell yes, he knows that people aren't accepting this. There's like a whole group that were involved in this. He's aware of that. And he's got knowledge that's a little different from what the average person knows. He knows something a little bit different. They're looking at it a little bit differently, and maybe even looking at Republicans that are involved in this. Yeah, corruption, blocking votes. What you getting?
Yes, patience to give the public hope, and also that there was a risk to the integrity of networks. There is a very critical group of people that are very conservative and very lily white. So like the Heritage Foundation, an organization that has legacy. Does that make sense? So yes, he is aware that there was a risk in the networks, the actual social networks that were used, the nonprofit organizations that were behind a lot of the manufacturing and engineering. But he's aware of the risk in the network.
I want to ask this because, like, the map that Polymarket put out, and then matched the final election. But then when you looked at California, like there's a very narrow blue strip of Democrats along the coast only.
Along the coast, yeah. When I saw the final map, I was like, that is not where we
California.
live.
That is not how California is.
I can see like the Central Valley in Orange County, which is the next county north of us here in San Diego. They tend to trend red. My House representative has been winning like in a landslide since he was elected. And he first came into office, I think, in 2016 with Bernie Sanders because he was endorsed. He barely won this year. It's like, what did they do? What did they do? Because my entire neighborhood, there's a few houses that are flying Trump flags, but everybody had his signs all over. And I'm like, how did he, like, I think it was like 2 points. I was like, that's not, and the guy that ran against him was a Trumper, a MAGA.
Is Intel working with Gavin to, thank you, Carolyn. Is Intel working with Gavin on what happened in California to recreate it, so to speak? There's a yes. I'm getting a big yes. Illumination on this big yes. Thank you, Aryan. Harvesting of votes. Here's the government and the investigators going in, trying to figure out, confusion about what happened. The growth that was unexpected at the root of this, going in and searching for the power link, the connection to it, and blocking and moving votes. So, yes, he's aware. He's nervous about it, but he's totally aware that they have knowledge and they're looking into it.
I get a no. Not here. It's larger than here. Do you see what I'm saying? So
I just figured maybe they'd try to figure out. Thank you, Michelle. Like there as well as the swing states.
What they're trying to answer is where it was lost. There's the election. There's the loss. Getting the answers how it was lost. Someone had access and answers, passwords, keywords. If this is a thing, it would be a box. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but because she didn't lose here, no, it's like they're looking specifically to where it was lost. Does that make sense? So maybe 8 states or something. I don't know. The swing states, which is obvious. I think the last time that happens was during Obama, the first time Obama ran. And let me tell you, a convicted felon that's an insurrectionist, there was no way in hell he was going to win all 7 states. He's never done that before. Not in 2016, not in 2020, sure as hell not in 2024.
Let's look at because you were reading me something about Article 13848 that Biden signed an executive order for and extended it in September. So can you read a little bit of that, what that's about?
Yeah. So my friend Stephanie sent me this. It was floating around. Thank you, Stephanie. It was floating around on Twitter. And I was like, what is this? And I read it. And it's from the White House, came from the White House briefing room or whatever. And it says press release, notice on the continuation of the national emergency with respect to foreign interference in or undermining public confidence in the United States elections. Okay. It's going to be a little lengthy, so give me a minute. On
Thank you,
September
Caroline.
On September 12th, 2018, by Executive Order 13848, the President declared a national emergency pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, 50 U.S.C. 1701, to deal
So that was in 2018. That would have been done by Trump.
To deal with the unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States constituted by the threat of foreign interference in or undermining public confidence in United States elections. Although there has been no evidence of a foreign power altering outcomes or vote tabulations in any United States election, foreign powers have historically sought to exploit America's free and open political system. In recent years, the proliferation of digital devices and internet-based communications has created significant vulnerabilities and magnified the scope and intensity of the threat of foreign interference. The ability of persons located in whole or in substantial part outside of the United States to interfere in or undermine public confidence in United States elections, including through the unauthorized accessing of election and campaign infrastructure or the covert distribution of propaganda and disinformation. Elon Musk, ring a bell? Continues to pose an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. For this reason, the national emergency declared on September 12th, 2018 must continue in effect beyond September 12th, 2024. Okay? Therefore, in accordance with Section 202D of the National Emergencies Act, I am continuing for 1 year the national emergency declared in Executive Order 13848 with respect to the threat of foreign interference in or undermining public confidence in the United States elections. This notice shall be published in the Federal Registrar and transmitted to the Congress. Signed by Joe Biden, September 9th, 2024.
Won't it be hysterical if Biden uses national emergency that Trump tried to put in place so he could be a dictator, you know? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be hysterical if he uses his own rules against him? So will Biden declare a national emergency over election interference, foreign election interference? And thank you, Pamela. Anybody else I forgot or missed in the super chats? So Biden's executive order allows him to stay in office under a national emergency if a foreign power, just like in Romania and Georgia and everywhere else. Will Biden declare a national emergency over election interference?
Can somebody please see Daryl Phillips out? Yeah, it's in effect, Norm, because he signed it September this year till next year. Thanks, Lucky.
It's interesting. He extended it for 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that, Terry. I can't make anybody a mod. I'm in StreamYard, so don't ask me to do nothing because I can't.
There's definitely investigations going on. Biden knows that there's corruption in like people that work together to shift votes and steal votes. Got the steal card here. Um, I I think he may move forward with this using the powers that he has to block Trump from coming in. Um, he's not happy about it, and if he does it, he might wait to the last minute because he knows he's going to catch a lot of flack on it.
I mean, what does he care? He's on his way out. I mean,
He's on his way out. Might as well. You know, he's got immunity.
You just pardoned your son. Save the country while you're at it too.
Yeah, and looking at pardoning, Fauci and all these other people that they're targeting.
But why would you have to? You're not going to let the SOB in.
Well, then he wouldn't have had to pardon Hunter either, which is interesting because the Republicans in the House are already saying we're going to find other things to investigate Hunter on. They're already threatening him. They got nothing better to do, these criminals.
You know what? Just give me special magic powers for a week. And I'll clean this whole mess up like
Put
that.
Little devil ears on.
He will if he has to. It's going to create a lot of chaos and a lot of sorrow. This right here is widespread sorrow, widespread, huge problems, but eventually it gets resolved until something is achieved. The problem is there's something hugely problematic involving internet or technology that took place. Hint, hint, Donald Trump had the freaking software to the machines that they stole in 2020 or 2021. Okay. So yes, until everything is cleared up.
So, I kind of wanted to look because, like Romania, they're going to redo their election because of interference. And Georgia is protesting now because they don't want to be, under Putin.
And they're trying to join the European Union, and Putin's trying to stop them.
Romania is a member of NATO.
Both of them are. Romania
No, Georgia's not a member of NATO yet.
Georgia was.
But Romania is. So I want to know, because of Romania in particular, are they sharing intel with the U.S.? Because they're the only ones. Moldova is not a member of NATO yet. You watch all these guys try to join NATO now. Oh, there's a yes. Sun card's going to be card of the night. They may have some intel about what was done here, the treachery that was done here in the U.S. They've got things about how it was structured, the attack, and how they raised votes and shifted votes around. So it's going to take a little bit of time to come out, but they have info on how they attacked and stole the election. They've got some strong evidence about a foreign leader here that was involved in corrupting the votes. Like something very, very surprising. So I think it's only a matter of time before this all comes out. But I think, yeah, they're getting some information, not just on what happened in Romania, but what happened in the US. There's a playbook, so to speak. Oh, there's the playbook.
A solid playbook, the branches of it, the allies. There's a person here that could be around health or something. This would be like a doctor. A person that somehow fits into health, that's an ally to the adversary. Romania sees us as an ally, a friend, someone trustworthy. But this person in particular is like a person of interest. They're around health, though. I don't know why this is popping up. This is a health.
Okay, the candidate, the Nazi candidate, that suddenly jumped on the scene, apparently was friends with RFK Jr.
Well, there you go.
What I understand.
RFK Jr. looking, is he going to be heading? Because this is medicine or a doctor.
He was going to head up the healthcare stuff under Trump.
Knowledge and secrets about this person that's around health and medicine. They know how it's branched, the organizational chart, if you will, and people that helped, allies that helped, the branches of friendship and loyalty. Huh?
Speaking of book, that guy wrote the foreword to RFK Jr.'s book.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. Somehow RFK Jr. is tied up in all this crap.
All right, let's take a look at RFK Jr. Was he aware?
Because remember, they used RFK Jr. as a spoiler candidate here. And then when it started to backfire, they were pressuring him to get out. Remember? Because
they couldn't get him off the ballots in time.
He was supposed to siphon votes off of Biden, but it backfired because he was siphoning votes from Trump.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
Was RFK Jr. in on how they were going to steal the election? That just fell out, the stealing card. Was he a part of the plan?
All that eating freaking rotted meat from the side of the road got them worms in his brain eating away any sense.
He's worked with them a long time. Treachery with them, trying to get the White House and Americans to vote for him and be the leader. This is a big yes. He started to see things differently when it came out. I think that he was taking away from Trump votes, but he's totally involved in communications, corrupting our votes, and he may end up looking at an indictment. Could we put a Kennedy in jail?
The hell we will. Let's start making an example of all these a-holes. Did he take trips abroad?
Yes.
Okay, yes. There's the trip, an attack, a dispute, a disruption, a pattern to it, and thievery. So yes, he was aware. He became aware on a visit. So Rose, you have to indict somebody before you arrest them. You can't just start running around arresting people.
I'm going to jump topics here just a little bit. Did y'all see Trump and Musk at the Notre Dame Cathedral reopening ceremony?
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Start snatching wigs.
There is definitely
I didn't know until Jenny sent me the pictures. I was like, oof.
There's Trump pointing a finger at Elon, like shaking his finger at him. I don't know if you can see that very clear, but he's like pointing at him and he's like angry faced.
You didn't change my diaper in time and now I smell. Actually,
as Elon's walking away, he's got this sheepish look on his face. His face is very red, and Trump is very angry looking back at him. Like his brows are furrowed. He is pissed at him.
I'm telling you, Elon Musk is on handler duty with that. He's on handler duty. Those two have been inseparable.
Well, and Vance is nowhere around, but Elon is there. So first question I want to know, was Trump aware Elon was going to be at that ceremony?
I'm a mute.
Or did he even invite him to go with him? Was he his Melania, his Alonia? They didn't sit together. Thank you, Rose.
What'd you get?
I think he knew. Yeah, I think Elon pushed him. Thank you, Joanne. I think Elon pushed him to invite him to go with the loser to the ceremony. As emissary to the king. As emissary to Trump, because he thought it would look great. For all the legacy for everybody to see him with him. But I think he did go as sort of the Alonia, as the Melania, because Melania wasn't going. Now, they didn't sit together, but I think he was aware. That's a yes. But there was an argument over securing satellites, is what I'm getting. So we're going to ask what the argument was about. What did you get?
He wasn't officially invited. Official with the tower, there's the invitation. It was only, this is like dignitaries or something. I don't, like I said, I have been on the adjuster timeline for the last week. I have no idea what's going on. Was this only open to dignitaries, or was it open?
It was mostly leaders. Like Joe Biden was invited. He didn't go because he ended up going to Africa instead. Jill was there, along with I think Kamala was there, but it was dignitaries.
Yeah, it's only like, this is like official invitation, but this right here is like a legacy, a dignitary, a person of status, not your buddy
Like it's
millionaire
like
that
that Ten of Pentacles, that family legacy card. Like, I
yeah,
need to be seen here.
not your Russian handler. Do you see what I'm saying? This effing clown that's immigrant who's looking to take away him and Vivek Ramaswamy, both immigrants to this country who have never served a day in the military, are looking to just throw away the VA and get rid of everybody's Social Security and Medicare. Yeah. Let me be in charge with a magic wand for a week. That's all I want, because I will fix it.
Trump did meet with Macron and Zelensky while he was there.
I wish Macron would have punched him in his tiny little nutsack. Did you see, like, he went like this into his hand and he was all yanking him and stuff? It's like, yeah, but his hand
always tries to pull him towards him.
Yeah.
That's his handshake. That's his power grab.
Yeah, it's like to show dominance over him. And I was like, Macron, kick him in the nuts, man. Just do it one time and say, oops, I slipped and my leg just kind of went like this and I ended up kicking him. The floor was wet.
Oh, it was a reflex. I couldn't help it.
Make it look like an accident.
So let me start here. What was the argument? Why was Trump shaking his finger at Elon? What was he pissed about? Zelensky got a standing ovation when he walked into the cathedral. Nice. Thank you, Aang. And for those that don't know, that are new subscribers, we post on our community tabs usually on Saturdays for questions for Sunday night. And for me, I write them down around a couple hours before we're going live so I can get all my notes together. But we share, usually when one of us posts, we'll share it on the other one's community tab so that all the questions go in one location. Trump got booed. Ooh, I didn't see that. I got to go watch that ceremony, some videos on that. Why was Trump shaking his finger at Elon? Did you see that they were saying that Zelensky was cheered when he walked in and Trump got booed when he walked in?
Are you dead serious right now?
Can you imagine all those foreign dignitaries from all over the world and Trump gets booed as he walks into a cathedral?
Are you effing kidding me right now?
I mean, it's like the Antichrist just came into this beautiful cathedral.
And I was so pissed when I went to France because it had just burnt down, so we couldn't go see Notre Dame. This son of a bitch who doesn't have a religious or spiritual bone in his body goes in there swagging his orange head all over the place, you know.
What's interesting is like Elon took a separate plane from Trump. Like if they were going together, they'd be on the same plane, right?
Oh, and then Sage the Scales is saying that he begged to go. He hadn't been invited. I bet you, and I don't know anything, you guys, but I bet you that SOB crashed the party. I bet you he crashed it.
And dared him to throw him out.
I am so sorry to the rest of the world that this trash keeps ending up on your shores, but please know that we're about to clean it up. Just give us some time. We're about to clean it up. Give us some time. Those dirty diapers, man. Go ahead.
he thinks Elon backstabbed him over something with a foreign leader. And here's the cathedral here. He's was feeling defensive and felt like he had backstabbed him and made him look like a loser. He wasn't having it, but it was to some foreign leader, like Elon might have said, all those votes. He lost. He didn't get it. He may have told somebody that Trump really lost. Could a divorce be coming for those two? He's angry. He is angry. He's going to bully him. At the same time, he sort of needs him for the messaging. But that anger is going to grow. Two narcissists. That anger is going to grow.
The embarrassment and the effing trash that just rolled up in France from a 2-bit huckster and an idiot that's on 30 different kinds of drugs from South Africa just showed up to crash the party. I mean, what a effing...
He's probably never been in a church in his life.
No.
And to go there...
Why was he being... That's why I was saying I don't think he was invited, because he's blocked right here, right off the bat, blocked. Then the house, then the birds, then the lilies, and then the cross. I think he was perhaps a little butthurt here that he wasn't invited, he was blocked, and that Elon was going around talking and conversing to dignitaries and he was embarrassing him. There's your family.
He wasn't supposed to go, and there he is. Yeah.
Well, Trump was blocked. Okay. There's the families and the entourage, someone that's floating around chit-chatting. There's, talking peacefully, but it's an embarrassment. So embarrassed.
Trump can't go around and talk to anybody.
Embarrassed and shamed. Mostly because he wasn't invited, and then this guy's going in there being the little social butterfly floating around talking to everybody. And then there's embarrassment and shame here.
Okay, so y'all in chat, tell me, who entered first? Was Trump first before Zelensky, or Zelensky first? Like, was the boo first or the cheers first?
So that's probably, I'm wondering if that's why he grabbed Macron like that and started, because he wasn't invited and they just crashed the effing party. Oh, look at me, I'm so important.
I would think Trump would have been invited since Biden was, since he's the incoming president.
Girl, nobody wants that stink, especially after they just painted the walls and rebuilt the whole cathedral. Like, no.
I don't like ketchup stains on Notre Dame.
They're saying that he was 45 minutes late. And then they're saying Macron did not invite the orange. That's why I was saying I don't think he was invited, because it was mountain and then house. Like, he just
shows up thinking, okay, I'm the incoming president. I'm going in there, and he sat in the front row. So God knows whose seat he took.
I'm telling you right now, if I were God, I would have smited that son of a bitch right where he sat, and you would have had to rebuild all of Notre Dame all over again, because I would have scorched him. Like, I mean, what a freaking clown, this man. What a clown. Jen, the perfume is his latest grift. Can you imagine what that smells like?
It's like, well, he needs to wear some because he stinks. Can you imagine having to sit next to him in Notre Dame and that smell on the front row?
And he's farting on people in his dirty diapers. Like, oh my God. I am embarrassed. Like, I mean,
the holy water, get the holy water out and fling it on him.
When they're walking around with the thing with the incense, accidentally drops him on his head.
Whoosh, whoosh.
Drops on his head, like all that Aquanet, dude. Flammable, right?
Oh, Le Pen invited Trump, but Le Pen wasn't over who got an invite.
Mm-mm.
Thank you, Bethcraft.
Oh my God.
Yep. Come for the petty, stay for the laughter. If you don't like it, go watch another channel.
Walk around with those little candles and accidentally just on his hair. He's flammable, dude. He's that.
He's flammable. Then you'd have to get the holy water out to fling on him to put the flames out.
There goes Notre Dame again. Got to rebuild it a second. Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh my goodness. Well, and there was one lady in particular, I wish I could remember her name, was really responsible for helping raise funds in the US that were sent to help with the costs with redoing Notre Dame. And Macron, I saw him talking about her and how wonderful it was, to have Americans giving so much money for this beautiful cathedral. And it kind of reminded me of when we, traded statues of liberty and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm looking in the chat and it's like, no class. Donald Trump is the gutter rat that came out of the sewer of Queens, New York and conned his way. His family did. And now that nasty trash is trying to be a foreign dignitary. And I mean, it's just the embarrassment of the century, this man. The embarrassment of the freaking century.
He is, I mean, to be booed as he came in, oh my God, what a...
How is that any different from his first rodeo and they were flying the freaking baby? Remember that when he went to Britain and they were flying the baby in the diaper screaming on the cell phone, making fun of Trump? I mean, everybody hates you, Trump. Everybody hates you. Go walk off a short pier, a long walk off a short pier, homeboy, because we don't like you. Oh my God.
I used to have an app that did sound effects. I was going to do some sound effects of Trump sitting in there. I mean, I'm surprised his face didn't melt when they did prayers and things. Thank you, Patrick.
Can you imagine him trying to do, like when he tries to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Because he doesn't know the words. He doesn't know the words. I mean,
I'm sure he doesn't even know the word amen.
No.
He's probably like in Y and C.
Yeah.
Maybe singing Madonna's Like a Prayer.
Oh my God. Singing about blowjobs in church again. I'm telling you, he's obsessed with YMCA because he thinks he's learning the alphabet. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill.
Okay. So Trump met with Macron and Zelensky. What was discussed there?
Give me a minute.
Becca, do a double line of 5, if you don't mind. Thank you, Uma. Thank you, Lucky McLucky. Trump's perfume is called Victory. I thought it was called Fight, Fight, Fight or something. Or has he got several? whatever they were meeting about, from their perspective, there was something different they were trying to get out of it than what Trump thought. So there was another agenda. Loser Trump has been laying low and saying he's going to end this fight in Ukraine, is what I'm getting, and they wanted to see what he would say about it. So, how are you going to end it? You going to fund Ukraine, or are you going to fund, help Russia? So they wanted to see if they could confuse him and get him to change and kind of slip up what he said. And I think they also let him know they were surprised that Kamala didn't win, that she was out. So I think they wanted to see his reaction to that. Like, yeah, okay, you're going to the White House. She's not. What, we're surprised. So reactions is what I'm getting. They wanted to see his reactions. What are you getting?
Can you see that?
Uh-huh.
No successful union. Anything that they told him was surface level, surface level, surface level. That's it. There's no commitment. They're nothing. Dead. They're not negotiating with the guy. They're not moving forward with the guy. Surface level. Very suspicious that a woman here was the one that was successful, and she's going to achieve something in government. See this? Mm-hmm. There's a loss over the woman's head, but she gets here. There's the institution and there's the achievement, because she really won. She's got this over her head. This is Trump right here.
So they know he didn't win too.
They know that he committed fraud. Okay. Ring and Fox committed fraud. Okay. The top line ends with the clover. And the Fox is there. Kind of far, but it's there. They successfully played him like a fiddle.
They baited him. They baited him.
I wouldn't even say baited. They kept it surface level, suspicious. To your point, trying to confuse him to get him off to see what he would say. I wouldn't say that they were running intelligence on him because of the setting. And I wouldn't even tell you that it was to feel him out, because they know
who he is.
They know his type. They are suspicious as hell. They have people in institutions that are looking at him. They know that there was a trap that was set. If this is him, okay, there's the confusion, the big trouble, the chaos, Trump, the king of clubs. There's the trap. And then the woman, anchor and tree. So surface level played him to his ambitions, what he wants to hear. But that's it. They didn't talk about nothing of importance at all. They may have brought up Kamala Harris or maybe some other woman, but I'm thinking this is Harris because there's the coffins right over her head. They're just suspicious of how he manipulated government and what a con man he is. They know his type, just like Kamala Harris knows his type. She's the one that's going to get ring to woman. She's the one that's going to make the promise and get where she needs to be. This is not over. It's going to be chaotic when this bottom line here. It's going to be very chaotic when things get set straight. Okay, so there's the chaos, there's the manipulation and the fraud and the sneaky shit that Trump does. There's the woman. She achieves something that is solid. The achievement is here in the institution and the government. Okay, so it's going to be chaos, but they didn't tell him shit doodles at all.
I wonder if Biden has said anything to foreign leaders.
Jen, he doesn't have to. Everybody is watching him.
Yeah.
When he
But I
stole,
wonder if he sold them like, he's not going to get in here. We're not going to let him.
well, yeah, but when he stole all those national security secrets, he stole secrets from France too that we had. He's a threat to even their government when he took all that crap to Mar-a-Lago. So we're not the only ones keeping an eye on that idiot.
Well, what's interesting too is Musk was in contact with Netanyahu and stuff, and it's like, here we go again with that. What's that clause like where you're not allowed to negotiate with? Yeah.
At this point, why do we even have laws? Because he's been violating the Logan Act since he got out of office. So you might as well just use him for window dressing because nobody did anything. Every time Joe Biden was trying to stop the ceasefire with Israel, Trump was on the phone. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Against our national security. So why do we even have this if nobody's going to enforce it? Anyways.
Okay, to shift gears for a second. Little white Nick Fuentes got arrested and has to go to court in December for pepper spraying that lady who he shoved off his front porch or front steps.
He maced her too.
He maced her. It stole her phone, which somebody got back from him. The police, I think, got back from him.
And honey, grab your sugar because the tea is hot. Nick Fuentes not only got arrested, but he got caught doing the whammy jammy with another homeboy, and the homeboy filmed it. Okay, so the little woman-hating Nazi, your body, my choice, the closet gay, he's been outed because there's video. There's video.
He's keeps preaching. Thank you, Misty. I think I missed some.
And it was
with the list at the end. Janet, thank you.
Super left-leaning guy named Destiny who dyes his hair blue. I was like, how did you get a Nazi and a super lefty for that to happen? I mean, whatever, but like, no.
It was probably an intentional. Okay, I'm going to get dirt on him and release it. I'm going to get a video and release it and show America what he really is. He keeps telling white men like that they shouldn't have sex with, anyone.
The whole incel movement.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're getting your clock cleaned by a dude.
So how's this December court case going to go? He's out on bail, I believe, right? I guess they had to arrest him at his mama's house since he's been living with her since he got doxxed. Well, since the macing incident.
Like I said, you all. Grab the sugar because the tea is hot.
I believe he also has a civil case lodged against him too, by that woman that he attacked.
Because all I'm getting is that there's a woman that's going to be, she's going to come out on top, and there's a lot of resources and money behind her. So, because there's the achievement, loyal, trustworthy woman that gets the fame and the power and the finances. I don't know which one this is in reference to. I didn't know he had more than one. But I'm just telling you, the woman is going to come out on top.
There's something else besides this incident that who he's connected to. Somebody's looking into. Um, he's not going to like how this course case goes. He's going to claim he was bullied and it's self defense. So whether he gets a big fine.
So what you're saying is he's going to go run and hide in his mommy's basement again, right?
Yeah, if he gets a big fine or something, it's going to come up again. So yeah, there's going to be illumination on other things that he did. It could be like doing the propaganda to block Kamala from getting in. It could have something to do with propaganda, words, communication. But he's got some troubles coming.
Good. Throw him in jail for a few months. At least we'll get silence. You know?
Well, let's see. Oh, let's ask it this way. Will the inauguration be delayed from January 20th? I'm actually getting it's a possibility. What are you getting?
Go ahead.
I'm getting judgment on this, but like in secret, they're sort of like planning on that. They're made because of what's going on, the treachery and stuff. They may delay like 1 week, 1 to 2 weeks is what I'm getting. There's the whole network. It all starts coming out again around Christmas time. There's a timing issue with inaugurating Kamala. They've got to make the connections, everybody involved with this, and for security reasons, I'm getting a yes by a week to 2 weeks, 8 days, something like that. Kamala's got strength though, so I think she's still the one coming in, but I'm getting there might be a delay.
Trust, suspicious, awarded. Center to the reading is fraud. So I'm kind of stuck. It's like the central card is talking about fraud and manipulation. And that what is being, that you can't trust the way that it was. Do you see it? Because there's fraud. It's prominent. Do you see what I mean? But it's almost like if I just look at the order of the cards, it's like, no, it gets corrected and it gets awarded to the person that was awarded, the person that got it initially when this was discovered. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't.
Still going on time.
Yeah.
It's funny because off camera, um, I was reading on will Intel reverse engineer what Trump did to manipulate the votes? This was on December 2nd, so Monday after the Sunday night Petty Boots. And I got Fish Ship Fox, and that was like
Hold on. Will they reverse engineer it? Fish Ship Fox. Okay. A lot that was transferred in fraud. Yeah.
So if they can get the algorithm or whatever,
I'm not reading the tips when they're a 3-card spread, Anita. So no. Go ahead. Sorry.
If they can figure out the algorithm, like for every Trump vote, we'll change this many of Kamala's or whatever. Like if they figure out how many were changed in the totals, they can reverse engineer it and see what Kamala's votes should have been.
Because that reading right there says an abundance was transferred fraudulently or manipulated. Abundance transfer manipulated, abundance transferred fraud. That's simply straight across read.
Which may be why we don't always get a clear answer on if recounts are going to be done, because they may not have to have recounts if they can reverse engineer it.
Or once it's certified, because according to the federal prosecutor's guide to election prosecutions and stuff, they have to wait until the state certifies before they can even step in to do anything. So you look at the paper ballots, you look at what the results was tabulated, compare. That's interesting. Look, you have 600,000 bullet ballots only. That exceeds the number of registered voters in the area. Where's the other 600,000? Because what it looks like they did is they removed ballots that were supposed to go to her and then engineered ballots for him, bullet ballots only. Do you see what I'm saying? So that the numbers wouldn't be off between ballots and registered voters. Do you see what I'm saying? So that, on top of all the other stuff you saw in that movie, Jen, from George, what's his name? George Palace?
Michael Palace, is it? Or is it George Palace?
And look, but yeah, I know his last name is Palace, but on top of that, on top of the engineering with Elon Musk paying people, I would be amazed if Elon Musk isn't indicted. It shows up in his grand tableau because he had people going door to door with iPads. Vote here. That's fraud, Jen.
That's flat out fraud.
Fraud. Defrauding voters. Paying people to go door to door. Here's an iPad. I want you to vote on it. How do you know they weren't collecting that voter's data to know who to take? Plus, Elon Musk had the
he did that too. He did that too. He collected voter data to know where to manipulate and stuff.
And who to take off the voter rolls, on top of paying people to vote, on top of misinformation that, according to that executive order that I read earlier, is still in effect. And he let his entire platform be used specifically for that purpose. So I'm just sitting here just chilling out and waiting for the crap to hit the fan, because this final episode of America 2024 is getting lit. Like it's going crazy.
So Romania is redoing their election. I don't see anything about us having to redo our election. I think they're going to be able to reconstruct it to figure out what her votes should have been. Minus some votes that were thrown out,
Yeah, those that disappeared, that got set on fire. I mean, it was it was just one thing. It was a multi-pronged effort to give it to him. That's why when he won, he was just kind of like, it was a hollow victory. He had to engineer it to get what he did. I wonder how bad it was that he was aware that they had to engineer it so badly, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, I remember I was like, okay, how many votes of Kamala's were changed for every one vote for Trump? And I got 7, remember? Uh, I think she's probably close to 90 million votes that she had, and I think he's lucky if he had 20 million.
Yeah, there's
He
no
is
way.
not liked.
No, Jen, in North Carolina, that final week, the final week going into the election, he had a rally in North Carolina. He was refusing to go talk to those people because there was what, maybe 300, if that, and he was pissed off that he couldn't fill up an arena. And meanwhile, Kamala Harris is in Washington, D.C. with millions of people that showed up. Get the F out of here. Like,
So,
whatever.
in watching the news just in the last week, we had South Korea tried to do military martial law and had a huge uprising, and they literally, the lawmakers climbed over fences, and the people helped them to get in to reverse that. Now they're going to try to impeach their president.
Impeach him and jail him. Impeach him.
The head of defense resigned, but they've already taken him in. Then you've got Romania that threw out their elections after massive protests. You've got Georgia protesting like crazy. You got Syria that took their whole country back from Assad. Putin and Trump got to be shitting their pants right now, because that's what would happen if he takes the oath. January 20th, there will be a huge uprising here.
No, you cannot tell me that America's greatest superpower, the leader of the free world, is going to watch South Korea say F you, is going to watch Georgia say F you, is going to watch Romania say F you, is watching Ukraine say double F you, and is watching what happened in Syria, and we're just going to go, okay, Trump, come on in. No, that's not how we roll. We killed people because they were trying to tariff tea in this country. Okay, like, we're done with kings. We're not going to put an orange mango that smells like dirty diapers with a dead freaking possum on his head into office. It ain't happening. So I'm just saying, calm down, people.
I'm just saying too. I think,
get your popcorn, get some patience, because the shit is going to hit the fan.
He won't even make it to the door of the White House to declare martial law. He'll be blocked from even getting in the White House.
Why do you think he was asking Mike Johnson, I want you to write a bill, make me president from November 5th? What laws did you commit?
Here's a question. Will Trump try to have himself sworn in early?
Jen, the rumors are that he was already sworn in a church basement or some crap like that.
Maybe at Notre Dame.
I'm like, oh my God, these people would eat a bowl of crap if you gave it to him and said, Trump said that this was healthy. So are we asking if he's going to try to get sworn in?
Will he try to get himself sworn in early? Like, as soon as things start coming out that the election was rigged, will he try to get sworn in early?
And it's not going to be the election was rigged. No, they're going to come over. Here's the mountain of evidence right here. There's the mountain of evidence. That's how they're going to play this thing, not screaming it from the rooftops. They're going to show up with Britannica Encyclopedia Special Edition, all freaking 87 books. That's how they're going to roll up in there.
Remember last weekend too, the Senate Intel Committee, the FBI finally met with them over a national security threat. And we were reading off camera what was the national security threat that they talked to them about, and it had to do with the election. So, and then several members of Congress said that Biden needs to declassify the information so that they can make it public.
Yeah, because I don't trust that little weasel elf on the shelf over there in the house. I do not trust that man.
Let's look at first. Will Trump try to swear himself in early? Maybe Clarence Thomas or somebody will do it for you. Or now he wouldn't like a black justice swearing him in. He would go with Alito.
Oh, Clarence Thomas ain't black. When he puts on those glasses and he looks in the mirror, he looks white to himself. Girlfriend, what are you talking about?
Let's see.
Exactly, friends. A fake inauguration with at Mar-a-Lago.
I get a yes if he can find somebody to do it. He'd like to do it before Kamala takes action, before it comes out that he stole this and betrayed the country. It's a timing thing. Yes, to show strength, if he can get somebody, if he can push somebody into doing it, he would do it.
No, because the shit is going to be hitting the fan, and that fan is going to be on turbo high. Not just high, it's going to be on turbo high. It's going to be such a crap storm. A lot of fighting, arguing, and chaos when this happens. Like I said, stay calm. This is almost like the calm before the storm. You notice Democrats are not saying anything. They're letting the whole circus roll into town, and while everybody is sitting there clutching their pearls in horror, as if we would allow that shit show to happen here a second time. I don't understand. There's a part of me that does, because we don't want to look like them. But I don't think it's crazy to think that a convicted felon who tried to cheat twice, who staged a coup d'etat, somehow scored an A+++ in this last election. I don't care what sort of shit sandwich you're serving up. I'm not eating it, because it does 2 and 2 does not equal 87.
Convicted on 34 felony counts.
Yeah. So for those of us that are paying attention, this is like the collective calm before the storm. You don't see a lot of Democrats pushing back. You're just letting the clown show roll into town. Every day there's a new horror, and it's just like, what is this? What is this? It's the most unserious thing ever. Kash Patel to lead the FBI? Are you kidding me? Ron DeSantis to be secretary of, I don't know, toilet paper? So
somebody that's on a no-fly list to be the head of Intel.
Yeah. So, there's something here, perhaps in a conversation, in a meeting, or in a phone. How many phones did they take already? That is going to be
blowing it all up.
I'm just saying.
So will Biden declassify the intel around the national security threat that was reported to Congress? Will Biden declassify the intel?
To the person in the chat, same cheating with Hillary? Not exactly. Last time they only had propaganda and a couple of stolen emails. This time they had access to the codes inside of the machines. They literally manipulated what was tabulated. So there's your big difference. That I'm pretty sure that's now considered a cybercrime.
I think some cybercrime was tried to be committed in 2016 because my state was hacked.
Mm-hmm. You're not the only one, Jen. You're not the only one. So
yeah, there were like a whole bunch of states that were hacked in 2016.
In 2016, all you had was the email hacks and the wall-to-wall propaganda. 2020, you had
They hacked the voter rolls here because I was notified to watch
and the
out
voter
for
rolls.
identity theft.
Okay. In 2020, you had the fake electors and a few other things. This year, we have electors that were disputing people's votes and throwing them out, a form of voter suppression. You had Elon Musk with the voter rolls, voter fraud, because he was getting people to vote online, even though there is no such thing as vote online, on top of Donald Trump having the access to the software, on top of a bunch of Trump sympathizers that were willing to go along with it, along with Russia, misinformation, and, oh, by the way, bomb threats. I mean, it was a multi-prong. This is his third attempt at stealing an election. Okay, so he's
it's like they did so many different things so that he could achieve his goal.
Buying votes.
Biden declassify.
Is Biden going to
declassify the information about the national security threat?
And after America has had a taste of the danger that is Trump, there ain't no way. Just by him launching an insurrection, he is unqualified from stepping foot in office.
Yeah, all of this is so hard on Biden.
I say Biden needs to start kicking some ass in his old age. I mean, F it, you know? What do you got left?
Dark Brandon, you're on your way out. Come on.
I get not yet.
I'm getting not yet also, but soon, because what I'm getting is he may declassify part of it here to show some evidence, but it's not all of it. It's like parts of it. Unfinished work here. He'll do enough that more whistleblowers are going to come out and backstab all the corruption. So because this was a trap, those that are feeling burdened by it are going to whistleblow also. Like here, let me help you with that. Because they don't want to go to jail for Trump.
Lies and betrayal. There's the election. It's going to stay secret for now. Okay. There's transfer or a transition, manipulated, and a hack. That's what they're going to come out with, and that there was trouble and lies in the election, could be using wires or something like that. It's going to stay hush for now, perhaps until this comes out. So it's almost like, because the crossroads is a wrong thing, because the crossroads is here, it almost appears like they're going to do it in conjunction. So we're going to release the report, and then boom, here's FBI or Homeland Security, or here's the evidence. So it's going to be back to back. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't even give them time. It's the scythe is an action card. It's quick. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is an action card as well here. So it's almost like we know what it is. We know what happened. When I declassify it, let the public know, and then immediately the other stuff happens. Do you see what I'm saying? So until they're ready to make an attack. Does that make sense? So that's what I get. I'm hungry. I hope Johnny's going to join us in the after show. I'm nosy. I want to see what he's eating because I'm a fat ass.
So Assad supposedly
What's that?
Assad supposedly fled to Moscow, but his plane was seen going so far on the
Bermuda Triangle got him, Jen.
The radar, and then suddenly it disappeared. So like when I heard that, I was like, well, did they block out the radio transmission so people wouldn't know where he was going to? Or was the plane taken out? Like, Putin took out his former head of the military. Remember in that plane that blew up in the air?
The chef.
That he unalived. So I guess my question is Assad in Moscow? Because something was up with his plane, how it disappeared off the radar. Prigozhin, thank you. The Russian TV is saying he's in Moscow with his wife, but something weird was up with his plane on the radar. Is he in Moscow? Because he was taken to an airport at a where there was a Russian base. I think he is. I think that plane disappearing was a decoy. For illusion to make it look like it disappeared suddenly. I get a yes here. Like he returned to Russia. He's secure. Had to flee. But I think that plane, that might not have been the one that he was on. That there's a image cover up. That's where he went. What are you getting?
I'm getting he's in a lot of pain and a lot of suffering right now. There's pain and suffering. He's right in the middle of it. Not like, oh, I'm so sad. No, like getting your ass beat. You got bruises, you're bleeding, bones are broken, sort of beat down. So is he in Russia? Wherever the hell homeboy's at, he's in a lot of pain physically. Based on this, I don't think he's in Russia.
Might not have made it.
Because whip and cross together, that's like a painful attack. Something hitting you and causes pain, like literally being whipped or beaten, that causes pain, or chronic pain. Do you see what I'm saying? And he's right in the middle of it. So whip and man is like beating a man, and then man cross, man suffers. Do you see what I'm saying? So
it would only be natural for Moscow, for state TV, to say, "Oh yeah, he's here, he's fine," when actually they attacked him. And
maybe the rebels got to him. I don't know. I haven't been watching the news. All I'm telling you is what the cards say. So,
did Putin give Trump the idea to annex Canada? Did you see that? That he's talking about
I saw
making Canada another state.
I saw it on TikTok, and I was like, "What?" I'm telling you, the embarrassment that I have right now of being an American. Anytime that damn idiot clown opens his mouth, I mean, actually, idiot is too much of high praise. He makes idiot look like a bunch of Einsteins. Like, I don't even know what to compare him to. A rock, Like, I just.
He's got the IQ of a 5-year-old,
No, he's got the IQ of a rock with a freaking brain worm. if such a thing were. I mean, he's the stupidest freaking human being alive. And not to mention, he's fucking mental. He's mental. Like his brain is literally oozing out of his ear right now, you know?
I don't know if you saw the video, because he also met with Prince William, who's 6'3", and there's Trump, like a much shorter than William. It's like, he claims he's 6'3", he's not. William's 6'3", and Trump looks like he's maybe 6 feet. That was trending all over Twitter. But when he came into the room, he's like, "Hello, William," like not Prince William. He think, "Hello, William," and he comes in and he kind of like stumbles a step, like he does this crossover step, like he was losing his balance. It's like, God, this guy can't even walk. He is not physically.
I would be the petty dude. I'm telling you right now, give me a magic wand. I would be over there dressed up like, I don't know, the maid. And as soon as he walks by, I stick my foot out. Oh, sorry. There he goes.
You remember what happened to Ivana on those stairs? Yeah, look, make that happen.
Yeah. I mean, just the embarrassment, Jen. And he's worse now. He's worse now because he's literally an old man that they're taking around on field trips. The activities coordinator.
He's power hungry too. Like he just thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced cheese, and
he's got a hard on for his retribution list. And the person that said it, this is not a president. He's out on a activities with the activities coordinator. They're taking him on field trips, and he's embarrassing the nation.
And then he's inviting himself on field trips by going to Notre Dame.
Parties. Putin's over there blasting pictures of your wife naked all over. I mean, the world is laughing at us because of that clown. His thirst for power and
even people he thinks are allies are laughing at him.
The incompetence. No, you know what? And he's too stupid to see when they're insulting him to his face. That's how stupid he is.
Booing him as he came in, he probably thought they were singing or something. Yeah. He's too stupid to realize that they're booing him.
Yeah, I know it's not really new news, J-Lo, but just to think that everything in Russia is controlled by Putin, and for him to do that was a huge FU to Trump. That's telling Russia, yeah, we own this biatch, and the world. And it's a way to globally embarrass America, Yeah. So what was the question?
Did Putin give Trump the idea to annex Canada?
So did Putin give Trump the idea to annex Canada?
It'll never happen, Canadians. Fear not. Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy. Trump will not be inaugurated.
Trump doesn't even know where Canada is on a map, Jen. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest.
Well, never mind that all of NATO will join Canada to fight it.
Do you see that all the blue states are now talking about, seceding the union and joining Canada? I'm like, let's not do that. We don't want to be like that idiot Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about, we need to secede. There was a part of me that would love to, so all the red states can just go bankrupt in 2 weeks, but I'm not for breaking up the union because of a clown,
I get this was someone in his family, so probably Don Jr. snorting up a lot and like,
Elon.
Oh, we'll just.
I get Elon, someone with stars and internet that's a clown and.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody that would like to create the chaos of saying we're going to take you over.
Because why not? He's already talked about
that could be a donor too. That could be a donor. It's a manipulation game just to put a scare tactic out there. He won't become leader, so don't worry. He's going to have indictment.
He's talking about a soft invasion of Mexico. A soft invasion of Mexico.
So, I mean, he's named a convicted felon, Jared Kushner's dad, to be the ambassador to France. It'll never happen.
Ambassador to France, Tulsi Gabbard, that's a spy who's on the watch list, to National Security Director. Vivek Ramaswamy, hi! And the Teletubby, we're going to create a whole new department that doesn't even exist. How we're going to fund it, I don't know, because Congress hold the purse strings. So I'm just going to wave my magic wand and get you whatever you want and go, pillage, the treasury. I mean, it's you know what? Let him have his fantasy for a couple of weeks. So when it all comes crashing down on his orange ass, we can all laugh harder, because I'm here for the petty. Hi,
the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, is saying that he's going to convert to Republicans.
Are you effing kidding me right now?
Hello, Mr. Johnny.
Hi.
Little surprise guest. I didn't know if you wanted me to bring you in for the tail end of the show or in the after show later.
No, now's good. I got cards.
Okay. I was going to say, if he wants to come later, he can turn his camera off if he doesn't want to read.
Adjuster, we have a name for you if you're taking requests. The mayor of New York, you might want to circle back. Just putting it out there for the adjuster.
What's going on with this mayor? What was it he was charged with not long ago? I can't even remember. All these crooks, I can't keep up with their crimes.
Was it corruption, embezzling? Like he was doing, do you remember?
It was corruption and...
So he wants, I mean, why not? They would welcome him with open arms. It's a lineup of convicted felons and insurrection.
He probably is trying to get a pardon.
Right in. Oh Lord! So what's going on with him?
Yeah, you're gonna make New York friendly to Trump again? Is that what you're trying to do?
You know what? I'm rooting for the adjuster even harder now.
He'd like a pardon for his corruptions. What are y'all getting?
What'd you get, Johnny?
There's a deeper thing to this. Also, I think it's an emotional response too, because I don't think Democrats have had his back, even though he is. Because I got the Page of Cups as the first one. I don't think he is very happy. And the Hierophant is the next one, and it ends in the Moon and the Ten of Wands. So there is definitely a motive. There's corruption, of course, there. And he wants someone to have his back, and they just ain't got it. I got the Chariot card, and the word of warning is the Ace of Pentacles. He's not worth anything to them anymore. Well, I don't think he was in the first place, but he looked good on paper. He was a former police, blah, 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 and da, 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 da. So he had a really good resume, but he has a very bad background. So this is an emotional response to Democrats not having his back. And yeah, I think he wants a pardon.
I think he's got appealing to the loser for a pardon. Look, I'll do the bidding of the corrupt one, but he's also afraid of all the actions being taken against him for his corruption. He wants to keep his money. He wants to keep his money home. He wants to keep working. So he'd like that pardon, please.
It's weird. I don't get any money cards. I get something that he's trying to keep at bay. He's trying to keep something at bay, like block something out, because there's something. I don't even know what this guy's in trouble for, but with the ship, the birds, and the moon, he got something from abroad. But I don't get any money cards, so I don't know what he got from abroad. There's a foreign negotiation of some sort that he was involved in. that he got found out on, and he's just trying to either under investigation or he's trying to sneak out of it. He's trying to be resourceful and get, oh, they're saying money from Turkey. Well, I don't have any money card. All I get is, well, this is an enemy and he's trying to block something out, something from abroad. He had negotiations from abroad. And then there's fraud, manipulation, and trying to be sneaky. They're saying Adam's money for his campaign from Turkey. There's something from abroad, dude. I don't get money.
Foreign money affecting our elections. Giuliani's going to be in court twice in December. I can't remember both reasons, but part of it was because he's told all his banks that his main home is in New Hampshire, but he's actually now staying at his condo down in Florida. And, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss are going to go after his properties, but there's the Homestead Act if he was truly living in Florida. The problem is he wasn't down there when the ruling was made. He was telling the banks at the time the ruling was made that he was living in New Hampshire. So is Rudy going to lose his little condo down in Florida? Because I think they deserve a nice little beachfront condo, don't you?
I think so. Go get you an efficiency somewhere. I mean, it's just you, so you'll be all right.
You can live in a dumpster.
Yeah.
You can go live in a dumpster.
Oscar the Grouch does, and he seems to be just fine.
Mm-hmm. And Chavo de Ocho did too. And everybody in the neighborhood liked him because he was a nice kid.
Well, I remember what the other thing was. He's being brought up on contempt of court because he agreed to not talk about Shay and Moss anymore, or Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss anymore. But he keeps doing it on his podcast, bad-mouthing them, defaming them. And he had signed an agreement he would not do that.
Take a page out of E. Jean Carroll's book, drag his ass right back into court. We taking that hairpiece.
He had every pinky ring on his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, confirmation, the Sun card, the Bank's 10 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles trying to balance something, the 7 of Swords, I don't know why, but it's a scheme of some sort where he says this and this with the banks. I live here, but I don't live there, and I got this address down the street from this type of thing. And there is the 4 of Wands, there's the actual house. So, yes, I think so. Good for you.
So, too. I think so too. This is like the end of it. It's like they're going to look at everywhere that he's tried to take power over his housing and stuff. He's not going to like this. They're going to get his house. There they are. Give it to you. This, legacy house. It's done. It's toast by Christmas. Have a nice vacation. Thank you, Lenny. Thank you, Edie.
Yeah, they're going to take his house and he might get caught defrauding paperwork of some kind. There's paperwork, so this would be liens, mortgages, titles, whatever's written, but there's fraud. So he might be trying to defraud the paperwork somehow, but they get what is coming for them. They'll get the house, but he's probably going to get caught up committing fraud, trying to hide it or sneak it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
These idiots.
Okay. So, idiot Tim Burchett, representative of Tennessee. Sorry, Tennessee. I'm from there originally. I can talk about him. I went to high school with him. Had George Santos come in at his Christmas party on Capitol Hill and dress up as Santa Claus and hand out Cheese Whiz and crackers. So, I mean, I thought this guy was going to jail. Like, when's his court case starting, y'all? Tell me.
Every time you say George Santos, because I forgot about George Santos. Every time you say George Santos now, I think of the Timu George Santos that's currently in Congress. You know who I'm talking about? That lady that just looks like George Santos.
Yeah.
The Timu one. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was just having a talk about the word irony and how it's misused, and it's like Murphy's Law is usually what. And it's like, take away Murphy's Law and just call it irony. But is this irony to where the thief is dressed as Santa Claus?
Sneaking down the chimney and handing out Cheese Whiz and crackers. Here, take this cracker. I'll squeeze some Cheese Whiz on it for
I thought we
you.
didn't want our kids around gays because they were going to convert them to gays. George Santos is openly gay. So make that make sense. Now we have a gay Santa Claus that you guys have been telling everybody gays are terrible people. We can't have gays anywhere. But then you're going to have a gay guy dressed like Santa Claus to give Cheese Whiz to your kids.
He's got the R at the end of his name, so he's all right.
I mean, if we're going to start sugarcoating, because they all hate gays except Peter Thiel. He's loaded with money, so I guess we can overlook your sexual proclivities.
Well, and we know George likes to dress in drag, but dressing as Santa Claus, yeah. Why would you have him on Capitol Hill? A known crook.
I bet you he stole that suit and tried to sell it later.
He
did. I bet you he did.
Chanel Couture.
Yeah. I mean, so what was the question?
Why did he go to Capitol Hill to play Santa? Why? What's his goal? What's his objective?
He's not even from Tennessee. He's from New York, right?
Yeah, he's from New York. Has nothing to do with Tennessee. He should be getting deported as Trump deports everybody, along with Melania.
So why was George Santos there dressed up like Santa Claus in Tennessee of all places?
Well, it was on Capitol Hill.
Oh,
Tim Burchett reps for Tennessee, but it was on Capitol Hill. Playing Santa Claus, walking through the halls, playing Santa Claus, a little tray of crackers and Cheese Whiz.
Like when you get fired from a job and they take all your stuff so you can't get back in. Did they not take that from this guy? Like he just keeps showing up. Like, where is HR in this building? Is what I want to know. Like, how does this keep happening?
Yeah, why didn't he hook up as they're saying a chat with Nick Fuentes?
What
are you getting, Johnny?
He's petty.
Yeah.
He's going back because you kicked him out. And it's like, now you can't kick me out because I was invited and here I am again. And you thought I was gone. I'm back, bitches type thing. Like that's yeah. He's petty and that he's not coming back, but he's in a capacity to where you can't do nothing to him now. You can't corner him and shake the Mitt Romney finger at him. You don't belong here type of thing. I mean, go ahead.
He feels a little bit left out, but I feel like he's a little bit like MTG saying, okay, if you don't confirm this person for the cabinet, I'm going to let all your sex secrets out. It was for image, but he's got hidden knowledge on these people in Congress. So it's almost like blackmail. Like, you have me in quid pro quo. You have me in there. I'm going to come in as Santa Claus, but it's like undercover me. I think he's threatened some of them. So let me look like I'm a happy player, but it is for image sake, but it's a power game for him. If that makes sense.
I get that why was he there? Rub elbows at the social gathering and talk a lot of smack, gossip. I mean, like malicious gossip. I don't know if he has a podcast or he's on the internet, on TikTok or something. He is just talking trash, gossip, and then trashing people at the party. and like petty stuff, like, oh, you should have seen what she was wearing, and this guy said this, and that, like that sort of, but
I would sit next to him then at that point. It's like, you tell me more. Why don't you? Come on.
mm-hmm.
Just
So,
make sure you put your wallet on the other side of you, but
yeah,
tell me more.
watch the pickpocket, George Santos.
What's all these OnlyFans charges on my account? Thank you.
Okay, I missed a lot of super chats, so I'm going to go through the list if you guys will pardon me. Mary Jo, Creative Vision, Caroline, RN Swan, Michelle, Sweet Caroline, Pamela, Rose, Joanne, Bafkra, Patty D, Anita, Patrick, Uma, Lucky McLucky, Mystic Janet, Miss D, Karen, Lenny, and Edie. Thank you all for the super chats. Johnny, have you got any announcements? And thank you for joining us.
Not a one.
At the end.
No.
You're joining us for New Year's Eve, right?
If you invite me, I'll be there.
Invite will be there.
I'll be in California
in
6 days, though.
In 6 days?
Or 7, I don't know. I can't count.
Wait.
Retrograde is really affecting.
I'll talk to you in the after show because I meant to text and then stuff happened and my brain just went. Pew.
My phone doesn't work anyway. It's okay.
We're going to see some videos together from the light show again.
We'll try.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you next week on Becca's channel.
Peace out. Have a good one.